What is good, mi gente? My name is Chris.
And I'm Carlos.
And this is
You Want a Cafecito, your go-to podcast for all things Latinx, where we discuss the ins and outs of our community.
With the millennial flair, of course. So if you with that, stick around.
All right, sis, you ready for the cafecito?
Sírvelo, mami.
Let's get it.
What is up, you guys? Welcome to our first ever episode of You Want a Cafecito. We are so excited to have y'all. And before we go ahead and get into the show, let's go ahead and do a quick introduction. I got my sister to the left of me.
What's up, everybody? My name is Carla. I go by Carls. I am a college graduate. Shout out to all of you that are graduating December of 2021. Y'all did your thing. I am a Spanish teacher, 7th and 8th grade. If you got a quick second, please throw a prayer up for your sis, because it's really out here. It's really difficult. Anyway, so I got my sister Crystal.
What is up, you guys? Again, my name is Crystal. I am a soon-to-be college grad. Shout out to all my 2021 grads, whether it's fall or spring. Y'all did your thing. Hang in there. And I am going into the communications field. And I just want to quickly touch base because my sis was the one who brought up this Latino-based podcast to me. And as a communications major, I couldn't help but want to develop it. So sis, I just want to go ahead and ask you, why was this such a passion project for you?
Well, I have always been into everything to do with our Latino people. I stayed connected.
We lit.
That's how our parents raised us. And this idea really came out of some difficult things that were going on, not just in our community, but in the Black American community with the Black Lives Matter movement, everything that was going on around the border, and just seeing the common conversations happening in our everyday lives. Sometimes the conversations happening in my classroom, they were so difficult because they were based off of ignorance. And not ignorance like you wanted to remain ignorant, but ignorance like we just didn't have that kind of conversation growing up. So my hope for this podcast is that we educate a little bit, we have great conversations, we love on each other a little bit, and we just have fun and grow as people.
Yes, I love that you said that. And of course, we have this handy dandy apparatus. We got our phones and we got a laptop. So with that being
we
said,
got a whole setup.
We do, and we can reach the masses and get our voice out there and get our message out there. And that really is the entire goal. And of course, you already know I thought this was a gold mine when you told me about it. So I was like, let's develop this and let's go ahead and go in with this. So before we go ahead and get into everything, we have a specific show layout that you guys can expect moving forward. And I want to start off with, was your café bitter or sweet? So sis, how was your coffee?
My coffee this week was pretty dulce. For those of y'all who are still getting into the Spanglish of it all, café amargo or café dulce. And my café this week was pretty dulce because even though we had a lot to do and a lot to set up for, I am so excited about what this show has coming for y'all and how much you guys are going to enjoy it.
You know what? I agree. My coffee was dulce. It was sweet too, just to be here and to be able to finally develop what we've had in our site for so long is so exciting. So definitely it's our cafe is giving sweetness over here.
Azuquita para café.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the purpose of this podcast. My sis already explained to you why this was such a passion project, but I also want to ask her why she felt called to start this podcast.
So our community, first of all of us who are immigrants living out here, whether you are in the States or wherever you are, I feel for you. I sympathize with you because, matter of fact, I empathize with you because I know what it feels like. And sometimes you just feel disconnected to your roots. But we are from the school of thought of you got to know where you've been to know where you're going.
Amen.
So we want to have a space where you are learning about your people, where you are growing with your people, where you are changing those conversations. Sometimes it's about the vocabulary. I'm a teacher at heart, y'all, so I'm going to be mentioning some of those words a lot. And we need to change some of our vocabulary. Learn who we are as Afro-Latinos. I am a proud Afro-Latina, Afro-Boricua, and so is my sister. We have deep-rooted spaces in our country and a lot of people, a lot of generations before us that had to do their thing for us to be here and have this.
Yes.
And I'm also from the thought process that you can be beautiful and smart and lit and an activist, and it is all about what you do in your circle. So if from this podcast you get just a little something to take back to your peoples, then we did our thing. We did what we wanted to.
Yes, and I also want to say this podcast is meant to bring awareness to every type of Latino. Remember, in our respective countries, we are from where we are. For example, we're Puerto Rican in Puerto Rico. But if you have somebody who's Mexican in Mexico, they're just Mexican. And when it is that when we come to the States, we become the Latino community. Mm-hmm. And it's important to note and highlight that we are not all a monolith. The struggles that our Central and South American Latino brothers and sisters deal with, we don't always deal with as Puerto Rican and therefore American citizens. And we want to highlight the beauty of who we are as a people. And we want to highlight our struggles too, because you know what? We deserve it. And we've been silent for so long. And I think that this is really our time.
We want to give a voice to the voiceless, the Latinos who are Afro-Latinos and beautiful morenas and morenos.
Are indigenous.
Yes, our beautiful Tainos, Aztec, Mayas, whoever you are, and you're still visible in this world.
This is a safe space for you. All right, mi gente, we hope this week's Cafecito gave you all the feels. We appreciate you so much for listening and for watching. We hope you come back for next week's Cafecito. Until then, you can keep up with us on Instagram at YouWannaCafecito and our individual pages at I am Chris X and I am Carls X.
And remember, mi gente, we live to learn and learn to educate. If your cafecito was a little bitter this week, remember, you have the power to make it sweeter. See you next time. Bye!